Why people leave. So we're into week 3 of the month and we'll be talking about things related to adherence, the sticking to it side of thing, the side that we often struggle with the most. Because chances are by the time someone gets to us, they've probably started some attempt to improve their health, fitness, to lose weight, etc. a number of times in the past. It isn't the getting started that perhaps we've struggled with, it's the sticking to it, the doing it consistently long enough to get to where we want to get to. And firstly, that's perfectly normal. Only a relatively small percentage of people achieve the health and fitness goals that they desire. However, we want that relatively small percentage of people to include you. Hence why we put a lot of stuff out there, why we engage in conversations with you to help you question some of the thought processes that might be underpinning it not happening. And over the course of the next 4 days, I'm going to cover 4 common reasons that people give when they cancel, when they stop their membership. And I'm going to help explain why those reasons, whilst perfectly valid considerations, don't need to mean that we stop completely. As I'm sure you know, we're very much about speeding up and slowing down as circumstance dictates, doing what we can under the circumstances, rather than that stop-start approach that hasn't got us where we want to get to, and chances are won't get us there. And before I go into those individual reasons over the next 4 days, I want to run you through a way of perceiving the experience that people have really whenever they make any sort of changes in their life. It might be a new job, a new relationship, getting a pet, making changes to their health and fitness. And when we first start, we have this period of time called uninformed optimism. It's the honeymoon period. We don't fully understand what's going to happen, what's going on, but it's all great and exciting so far. We meet someone new, it's brilliant. We start a new job, not quite sure how it's going to work out, but it looks great. We join somewhere like Rise, again, a bit unsure here and there, but yeah, brilliant, this is going to be it. And after a while, we move into a period known as the informed pessimism stage, where we realise that, it's not perfect. It's still going to require me doing work. There are things about this that maybe aren't quite what I expected or aren't this theoretically ideal way. And again, that might be in a relationship when we find out more about that other person. It might be in the job when we're doing it a bit longer. It might be when we've been a member of Rise for a period of time and we realise there's great help there, there's loads of support, but actually I'm still going to have to turn up and do sessions. I'm still going to have to make those changes to the food side of it myself. And that period is also known as the dip. It's when our mood, our enthusiasm for this thing is generally at its lowest. And at that point, we've got 2 options. We can either push on to what's called informed optimism. We appreciate it's going to take time and effort, etc., but we feel well supported, it's worth it, it's an investment in what we'll get from it. Or we can stop. We can drop out the bottom of that graph. We can go back to doing essentially nothing and start again at some point in the future. So we could end that relationship and hope the next one's better. We could leave that job, hope the next one's better. We could stop coming to Rise and hope that the next approach that we've got in our head somehow works better for us. And really that's the choice. It happens to everyone. We all get these informed pessimism, this dip stage where we're tempted to go for the exit, where we're tempted just to stop. And as always, that's everyone's prerogative. But I genuinely believe you stand the highest chance of getting the results you want as a member of Rise. I honestly don't believe that going back to something that you've done before or going to something vaguely kind of similar, but I'll be honest, not as good, not with the same level of coaching, not with the same level of support systems in place, won't make it more likely that you'll get the results. So I genuinely believe that we owe it to you to help you move on from this dip that you may be in right now to that informed optimism. Yeah, I get it. It's not always going to be easy, but actually I can do it. I can make forward progress over time, and worst case scenario, it will just take a little bit longer than I might ideally like, and move on over time to completion, and then on to setting of new goals and working towards them. So if that sounds familiar, watch the videos over the course of the next few days where I'm going to explore 4 particular reasons people often give for stopping their memberships and why they don't have to be reasons for stopping their memberships.